Okay, so if I have finally gotten everything the way it's supposed to be, I think we're actually live. Whoa, what a thrash. I don't know why, but tonight, it took me about 20 minutes or more. Yes, finally we're live. Good gosh. You know what I think the difference is? Um, I chose ultra low latency on the first attempt. Now this is just low latency. I think ultra low latency has a problem, which might be something that those of you who have a Pocket 3 may want to take note of. Now, it's kind of late. It's 1:13 in the morning here, and it's Thursday night, Friday morning. Of course, you guys know me. I don't got anything to do on Friday. And drinking a sports drink. I've been kind of under the weather. I went to look at a car. Believe it or not, I went to look at a Toyota GR86 to see if I could afford it. And talked to the lady there, really, really nice lady, Miss Ye, but she had kind of a cold. And then the next day I had a sore throat. I went with my friend Tony on Tuesday. Long time friend of mine. Anyway, so I've had a sore throat for the last couple of days. It's only weird in the morning. I get up in the morning and I'm hacking and coughing and all kinds of crazy stuff, but then a couple hours later I feel good, and been working on some video stuff, lots of stuff. I ordered a DaVinci Resolve from Blackmagic keyboard editor because I'm going to be doing more DaVinci Resolve editing, and it comes with a license for the studio version, the professional version, so a lot of stuff going on. But anyway, excuse me, this whole thing about the low latency is an issue because you want low latency when you're live streaming. You want to say something and have people be able to react to you quickly. All right, so I'm in the Hukou Shoshizang, the rest area. I was here a long time ago. Let me go on, it's on the back camera. It's just gonna flip around. Got the black mist filter on. Yeah, this is a rest area, man. And it's right off the highway. You know, you might be able to hear the highway in the background, even though I have, well, let me make sure. I should have noise reduction on the transmitter. Yeah, noise reduction's on. You may still hear the highway, where that black mist filter does great with the highlights. Over there is, you know, the buildings with services and stuff. I don't even know what's open, but I know that, you know, in the middle of the night you can go there and use the restroom and stuff, but I just don't even know what they got for food at this hour. That's a little track that I actually rode my bike on to get here. And as soon as I showed up, it's funny because the cops came by. Now all the highway cops have BMWs because they have to be able to catch people, so they got like high-speed cars. It's pretty funny. But I haven't been on much. I'm trying to make up by doing some more live streams because I know you guys like to interact and see what I'm up to, but I'm really trying to do more recorded type video content because that's where we're headed, like with this Map Freaks project with Rob that I'm working on. That's actually turning out okay. I think we're going to be good on that. So next week we're going to do more principal photography and try to nail down at least a trailer. But where to post a trailer? That's the hit. So here's the thing. You guys that follow me have your own YouTube channels. If you want to post our trailer, I'd appreciate it. I'll send you the file. I think I might just post a trailer here on this channel. Got nothing else to do. I have a couple other channels. Some of them are inactive. I have a studio channel. I have 30 followers. It's it. It's a big niche, and I don't, quite frankly, I don't post there much because I don't have anything going on in my studio that I can show. I have so many things that I want to explain in my studio about mixing and mastering and technology and things like how I rewired my Harley Benton guitar, stuff like that, but it's not photogenic. So I either need to build a new studio or I got to spend a significant amount of money in the room I have now to make it look photogenic. But it is practical. It's technologically sophisticated, but that doesn't always cut it. You gotta look good. And that's the other thing. I personally don't look so good. Got a face for radio, so if I just go like this and I talk all the time, I think it's better. But hey, that's just the way it is. So I was down over here on my way here. I was contemplating doing a live stream from this side of the road, but it's kind of dangerous. I sat there for about 10 minutes and watched cars and scooters go by, and I determined it was just a little too risky. But I was down by that curved road. I talked to you guys about this before, how, you know, the highway, you look at the map, the highway is a straight line, and there's a road that comes up to it and then curves and then goes underneath the highway and then back. And the reason it curves is because the civil engineers who designed the roadways used an already existing railroad bed that was there. Excuse me. You'll have to excuse me because it's 20 minutes after 1 a.m. And so I was contemplating doing a live stream from that site, and I decided not to because it was too dangerous. So being in this area, I'm probably about a 20 to 25 minute bike ride away from my house. Maybe not quite that far, but I'm kind of feeling slow tonight. This was actually a closer place than going over to Jar Jar or to the park or other places I've gone before. So, but this is an interesting place because I've come here during the day, and this is a rest stop. You can understand that, for cars. And I have like brazenly just rode my bike right up to the sidewalk, parked it on the sidewalk, and just watched all these people like gawking at me because it's like, wow, did you ride a bicycle on the freeway? Which is funny because in some countries you can, like in Thailand, the freeway, you know, the highways, you can ride your bike on it, right? You just use the motorcycle trail. But in Taiwan, you can't. And I remember one time, my wife and I were on the highway here. Oh, excuse me, I can't believe this. We were on the highway and we saw the cops with a couple of guys on bicycles pulled over, and we looked at them and we thought they were probably Thai. Kind of funny. So you can't really blame them. But it is the fastest way to get from one place to the other. The highway just cuts through, you know, all those municipalities, makes it really easy. But I guess I'm kind of losing my audience, which is unfortunate. I normally don't go on this late, but this is actually kind of afternoon in the U.S. It should be like 1:21 in the afternoon on a Thursday in the U.S. And of course, it might not be the best thing, you know, people working and stuff, but I don't always think of these things. But yeah. At least this isn't a creepy place. I was thinking about going to a creepy place because I know where there's an unfinished pagoda, which is a mausoleum. I don't know why it's unfinished. It's at this mortuary complex, and I flew my drone there 2 years ago, and that's where it got zapped because right next to it is an Air Force facility, and I think they got a bunch of they got several towers that comprise a monster antenna array. Of course, being a broadcast engineer, I recognized what it was. immediately. But the point is that the drone got damaged. It was never right after that. I sent it back to DJI, and both the drone and the receiver, the inputs were burned out. The radios were burned down on them. But next door to that is just this towering, hulking thing. And I've flown around it several times, and I've been inside. I actually have a short. It didn't get very many views. I don't know why I got like 40 some, 50 some views. But it said MJ decides to leave. If you look at my channel, it's one of those places where I had the 360 and I was doing an over under, you know, where it's facing me and facing around. I'm not superstitious. I don't, you know, get creepy feelings very easily. But I got to tell you, I was in that place and it felt like weird, and I just had to get out of there. So I thought about going down there tonight, but didn't want to. Anyway, I was in a camping store yesterday. Hey, Mike, how you doing? Fist bump. Good to see you. Sorry I didn't see your comment. I was in the camping store yesterday, and I saw this. Not it was yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday, Wednesday. I saw this because I need a new headlamp. You know that with a band headlamp in the front, right? My other one died. I had one. Gosh, I had a headlamp for like over 10 years. It's amazing. It's really good. I used a lot of live streams. You guys see me camping and stuff, right? And so this one's called Claymore. Just how it sounds, but the E is backwards on the end. M-O-R-E, it's backwards. It's made in Korea. Now, which is interesting, because even though Taiwan is like the LED capital, a lot of lighting stuff now is made in Korea. And so I got this thing. It's pretty cool. You can take the band off and put a clip on. But they say it's good for clipping to your hat. But the problem is if you clip it on your hat, the light's facing the wrong way. It's facing you. So I don't understand that. I mean, yeah, that doesn't make sense. But anyway, yeah. This thing is really cool. And it's nice and bright. And maybe I can demonstrate it. I don't know. Let me just see. But it has, I think, 5 different brightness levels. I just have it set on. I'll leave it set all the way up on 10, even though it's 5. I have it set all the way up. This is what it looks like, and there's 2 major lights on it, you know. And so, you know, you turn it on, and of course, it's hard to see, but let's do this. Let me, okay. So I'm gonna turn it on, and this is the soft, or they call the cold light, where it's just like a generic light, right? You know, to light up the area. Okay, that's the focused beam. Then next to it, right next to it, they have another LED that's slightly less focused, but still pretty bright. And if you press it again, they both come on, the slightly focused and the main focused one. See, that's pretty good. And then the next one will be a red light. And all of these modes, they're adjustable, but you can also do like an SOS with each one of them. And then we're back to the, you know, the generic. And so even for the Pocket 3 is so sensitive that even the generic light is too much, you know. But then now, okay, so this is the focused light. The focused light is really bright. Of course, that's not dirt on the lens. That's the mist filter. And then there's the more of a wide angle. You know, it's still pretty high beam. And then there's the second one together with them, and then the red light. And then we're back to just the generic one. So just the generic one lights up the area pretty well, like if you're camping. And you're not doing anything particularly focused. You know, you just want to like light up the path or something. That's cool. But then if you want to do like you're cooking or something, or cutting something, you want more of a focused light, you can aim it down. Of course, you know, it's on a hinge. It goes 90 degrees. So this was 1,500 and some change NT, which would be about, let me see, about 45 bucks US. And the company is called Claymore, Claymore. And hey Matthew, fist bump. Good to see you. Sorry I didn't see you. I was doing this thing. Yeah. And it's actually it's morning here, Matthew. It's like 1:28. So Claymore, and the E is backwards, and they're from Korea. So you know me. Not sponsored. So I had this Insta360 X4, and I got tons. Gosh, I got terabytes worth of stuff. I actually had to go get a new hard drive for my computer. I've got so much data. When I went to the States, I took a 5 terabyte backup drive to back up everything. Fortunately, I didn't need that much. I didn't take as much video as I could have. But, you know, multi-terabytes. Anyway, and then I have a 6 terabyte USB 3 external drive that was pretty full. So I went to my local computer store and I got a 20 terabyte Western Digital Enterprise Gold hard drive. It costs, you know, like 650 bucks or something, but it was well worth it. And so what I've done is I've offloaded stuff from other drives. My D drive is 2 terabytes. I've been using that for like my audio stuff, and audio stuff doesn't take up that much space. You know, you could put probably 4,000 or 5,000 audio projects on a 2 terabyte hard drive, but you get into video and it's just okay. So and my 6 terabyte external drive was pretty full. So anyway, you know, I've got the new 20 terabyte drive about 1/3 of the way full because I've offloaded the other stuff onto it, but then it gives me more space on those drives too, you know. But here I am, I've got all this stuff, and it's so much fun to shoot video. It really, really is. And you know why I like live streaming? I'm going to tell you guys. Because I don't have to edit it later. I shoot stuff, you know, on 360. I'll go to this place and go, oh, this is fantastic, this is great. And I'll look at the footage later, I go, oh man, what an amazing place. Like, these guys are doing this, and then I go, well, I don't want to edit this. This is going to take hours, man. It's going to take 7 hours to edit this. What's going on? So I realized, you know, I like working on music, and I like music editing, and I like music production, but I don't like video production that much. So I spring for it. I spent another 600 bucks on the Blackmagic DaVinci Resolve keyboard editor with the jog wheel on it and everything. So supposedly it's going to make my life a lot easier. And it comes with a license for, you know, the official license version called Studio of DaVinci Resolve, which is important because I got all this 360 video, and I want to edit it, and I want to do videos, and I want to do them both for my family, private stuff, and stuff for YouTube too, right? Because, I mean, we were tubing down the Dan River. It's hilarious, so much fun. And, yeah, I got this 30 centimeter, 3 meter stick in the air, and even people were going, hey, that's a big stick. Yeah, and on the Dan River went by some amazing, like, rock walls with caves in them and stuff, and you know, it's all in. I probably got like maybe 40, 45 minutes, something like that, of 360 video, but I don't want to edit it in the Insta360 editor because it kind of sucks. I mean, they've been up in their game, don't get me wrong, but you know, I'm a DaVinci Resolve guy now, and I always have been, but I've been in denial because I bought a program. There's a company called MOV AVI, Movavi. It's kind of a takeoff on .mov and .avi, right? Movavi, and they had a really nice editor, and then they went Adobe on everybody. I bought the standalone, but now everything is subscription. I'm not doing it. But it's a really nice editor because it's quick. It's super quick. If you got to do something in 10 minutes, you can do it. But I realized the future for me is DaVinci, and you know, I used DaVinci years ago, and then I left off using it. So I really got to dig in. It's going to take weeks, you know, maybe months, because we got stuff we're, you know, planning on doing with Rob and you know, the Map Freaks upcoming channel, all this stuff. I really need to up my game, and so I got the you know, the keyboard editor, the editing keyboard to really help. But the main thing is that I had been trying to use the free version of DaVinci to edit 360 videos, and there are plugins, you know, just like a DAW, there's third-party scripts and plugins. And there's a plugin that enables you to reframe, you know, 360 videos in DaVinci Resolve, but the resolution was terrible. And I didn't realize until today. I watched a video. There's a guy named Hukou, H-O-U. He's absolutely amazing. He's a phenomenal teacher. He's really funny, actually, which is, I think, a critical component in teaching. You have to be humorous and entertaining to a certain point. But this guy, he has the most professional presentation on YouTube that I've seen for a tutorial. This guy is nuts. And he had 3 years ago, he had a workflow about editing 360, and he has an updated one. And what I didn't realize was that the free version doesn't support the resolution that I need to work with to make those files look as good as they should look. And I spent, gosh, days. I literally spent days previous to that, before I went to the States, working on trying to edit 360 videos in DaVinci Resolve, and I gave up. And now I know why it didn't work. But the good news is, since I ordered the keyboard and it comes with that version, you know, it comes with the registration key, I'll be able to do it. So I'm going to spend the next several weeks goofing around with videos and trying to get better on them. But let me tell you, we have some stuff coming up with Map Freaks that you are going to love. The home mount airfield, yeah, and my friend Sam Jow is, I'm waiting for him to come back to me with some of the information that he knows about it and some photos that he has. He has a lot of aerial photography from World War II. He has a lot of these photos in his archive. Guy's an amazing researcher. And so, yeah, we're going to shoot a trailer. Actually, we started shooting a trailer, and it's amazing. I kind of suck at acting. Everybody thinks they're good at this kind of stuff, right? Let me tell you, it's way harder than you think. I'm great on the air live. You know, I was a talk show host, and I've done a lot of radio. And over the years, you know, you guys see me live stream, and I'm good with like what they call the stream of consciousness kind of a thing. But you know, where there's a script, it's like action, go. Yeah, whole different thing. For what it's worth, I think Rob is really good at it. You know, I really do. I think he's great. So I got to work at it some more. But we're coming up with a trailer, because there are definitely some artifacts that we can still see. And it turns out that in a place called Jinsan, way up north, somebody found a set of huge stone rollers, like 3 of them, that were used by the Japanese to roll the gravel out, because they didn't pave them. They didn't use concrete. Concrete was too luxurious. They didn't use bitumen or, you know, the asphalt or anything, right? It was just gravel, and they tamped it down. They rolled it down with these huge stone rollers, and they probably pulled it with an ox, because it wasn't too long ago. And even today that you see sometimes in the field, a good old water buffalo doing the labor, pulling the plow, pulling the wagon, whatever it is. You still can see that in some places in Taiwan, but it wasn't that long ago that was commonplace, right? The beast of burden. And so there's a possibility that there's a set of those rollers in the Hong Mao area, because it doesn't make sense that there would be like one set of those stone rollers that they would share and just truck to different places, because those things was pretty heavy. But it could be. So anyway, we have our eyes open to see if, it might be in plain sight, to see if we see a set of those rollers somewhere, But the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to talk to a couple of the local people and see if they can tell us. Because, yes, well, exactly. But, I got to tell you, it still makes sense. It really does. I mean, and the horses like it. It keeps them in shape. They like to work. You've seen some of those work horses, man. They get anxious if they don't have anything to do. They know that that's what they're for. They're for doing work. Those draft horses, especially. Yeah, they want to do it. They don't like to be idle, and it makes them feel better. The exercise. Yeah. Wish we could go back to that. Makes a lot more sense. No more gasoline, burning fuel. Yeah. So, and of course, you feed the animals and the output used to fertilize. I mean, it just makes sense. The old ways, a lot of times, are better, aren't they? Yeah. So, we're looking at those kinds of things. I got to send the drone up. We have an idea if there are any of those stone rollers. We have an idea kind of where they might have been discarded. We're going to sort of look there. Now, here's the interesting thing. Yeah, it really is smart. Yes. Here's the interesting thing. Once we get the new YouTube channel started, we're going to be live streaming. Rob and I can be live streaming to it about what we're going to be doing. So that should be pretty interesting. And you guys will be able to ask a lot of questions, and we're probably going to have a presentation. Of course, me, I got so few followers that okay, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 comments in this live stream in like 22 minutes. So here's the thing, you get a couple of thousand followers and then, subscribers, and then pretty soon it's like you can't even, you ever seen Steve Wallace live stream? It's like, there's no way. He has to have somebody just pick one out somehow. I don't know how to do it. But yeah, so at some point we'll be live streaming and talking about what we're doing. But I regret that I came on late tonight because I am getting very tired. It's 1:41. By the time I get back to my house, it'll be 2 a.m. I'm going to have to take a shower and hit the rack and all that. But I think I'm going to call it a night. But I did want to come on because, I really, I went to the States and I was very busy and it was cool. I had a lot of fun. I didn't get jet lag, but I just didn't live stream very much. I live streamed once, actually. And that's not like me, but I live streamed from my sister's house. It was fun. It was great, But I had some problems. I tried to use the Pocket 3, didn't work out. And the Wi-Fi, the mobile internet in the States, at least where I was at, is just so unpredictable and bad in most places. And I had a T-Mobile eSIM, so go figure. I think they were the first ones that had, the SIM card system, because it used to be CDMA. I don't know. I've been living in Asia, and I really don't remember too much about what was going on in the States. But there were 2 competing mobile phone systems in the States, and it works when it wants. Yeah. And then And then the SIM system, you know, the subscriber information module. So what do they call that? The SMS, I guess, system. Anyway, I forgot. But we've had SIM cards here since day one. So, in fact, in 2002, I was here. I bought Sony Ericsson T68. That was the world's first color screen. It's funny because previously, about a year before, I saw a guy in Cybex where I worked. He was a contractor, and he had been to England, and he bought a T68, and he showed it to me. It was like a tiny screen about this big, but you could still play a game on it. It's pretty amazing. Yeah, and I mean, I thought I was kicking ass and taking names with this phone with this, you know, thumbnail-sized screen, but I bought it in Taiwan, and it said, you know, 3G, and I went back to the States, and I realized, oh, wait a minute. So I went to T-Mobile, and they're the only ones that had a SIM card. But I remember walking, I had my phone in a clear pouch. This is so Taiwanese, one of those little belt-mounted, you know, pouches, and it was a clear pouch. And a guy from a competing mobile phone company saw me, like, way down the hall, and I was walking. He says, "I love your phone, man. But I will tell you something funny. Two things happened. I also got a Sony Ericsson Bluetooth headset. It was kind of big. It's kind of sticking out, right? But it looked really cool. But there's two things. I was walking in Walmart, and this would have been when I came back, like maybe very late 2002, very early 2003. Okay. And a gentleman in Walmart said, "Excuse me, is that a Bluetooth headset?" And I said, "Yes, it is." He's like, "Wow, never saw one, just heard of it." And so those things were kind of cutting edge in Asia. Of course, everybody's caught up now, but I remember the time when, gosh, I used to come here. I should show you guys pictures. I got pictures I took in 2002, 2003, 2004 of all these crazy phones, you know, like slide out keyboards, just amazing designs, what they used to call feature phones. And then in 2011, Samsung came out with the Galaxy series. Now, everybody knows that the iPhone came out in 2007, but, you know, I always say Apple invented the iPhone. Samsung developed it into a viable product, because that's my opinion. But getting back to the Bluetooth headset, the implementation with the Sony Ericsson T68, I wish I had that today. Excuse me, with this modern iPhone 14. Okay, it's 2 iterations behind, but it still should be better than a 2002 Sony T68, right? Judges. Bluetooth headset. I'd press a button and I'd go, "Call John," and it would go, "Mobile or home?" Mobile. Calling John, mobile. Or I could just go, beep, "Call John, mobile." And it would know. But the thing is, it would ask you if you weren't specific. Amazing. I mean, the implementation was out of this world. To this day, I've never seen such great implementation of a Bluetooth headset. So, one time, I was talking to my friend, and I was in an ATM. You know, you got to get your card to go in. It's a secure space. And back in those days, I don't know, I think I was depositing a check, and I was writing the stuff on it and preparing the check. And I had my headset on. I wear my left ear. And a woman walked in, and I'm like, "Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Yep, da-da-da, da-da-da." And I'm writing this stuff right here. And I heard this woman come in. I didn't think anything of it. You know, she comes in and she's standing there. And, you know, "Are you using this?" "Oh, no, go ahead." Anyway, so blah, 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 and I'm talking. She thought I was talking to myself. When I was all done, I sealed the envelope. I turned around, she saw the headset, and she went, "Oh." I'm like, "What?" She goes, "I thought you were talking to yourself." Here's the thing, though. Today, right? Nobody would think that. because we don't even have these big headsets. We just got these little earbuds. Of course, they look like Oral-B toothbrushes, if you ask me. The little thing sits in there and it got, you know, the tail hanging down, but yeah, that was pretty funny. Thought you're talking to yourself. I should have said, well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I was talking to myself. I just wear this headset so people won't think I'm crazy. That's what I should have done, but so. So Matthew says, got me once. Okay. I was in a bar tending back in the day. And the guy at the bar was using one that's a Bluetooth headset. And I was telling everyone, look at that crazy guy at the bar. Yeah, perfectly understandable. Perfectly understandable. And the thing is, it got smaller and smaller. Because when I got, you know, from 2002, this big honking Sony Ericsson thing, which I loved. It looked futuristic. It looked like something on like Battlestar Galactica. But fast forward to like the Samsung Galaxy. I had the original Samsung. I've had the original Samsung Galaxy, the Galaxy S they called it. Then I had the S4. Then I had the S7 Edge. And then after that, I went to Xiaomi. That was the last one I had. But they had a tiny little thing. And it was like, it looked like a roach with an earbud on it. Just a little black thing you set in your ear. So they get smaller and smaller. So nowadays, everybody just uses their earbuds, you know. And I got a new set of JBL earbuds. I'm not going to show them to you. I got the JBL Tune something. I forget. Anyway, they call it the Ghost color because the the body of the charging case is smoked and cleared. You can see surface mounted components. Okay, wow, that's the Ghost. But those earbuds sound pretty cool, but I noticed that they're really super high-endy, and I'm wondering, is that the new trend? Because like I'm 68, you know, and I still do recording, I still do mixing and mastering. But let's face it, there's no way that the top end of my hearing is good as a really young person. It's like, you know, Phoenix can hear stuff I can't hear. That's perfectly normal, right? But when I put these earbuds in, they seem bright to my 68-year-old ear. So I can imagine to a young person, they must sound like they're just like so metallic and brassy sounding. But I think that's where we're headed. So I'm glad I got them because they sound different. I've been using these Xiaomi ones for years, and I don't think. I mean, I was looking at the Apple earbuds, and they remind me of some Samsung ones that I had where they don't have like a tip that blocks your ear. These just sit in the little recess in front of your eardrum, and they're sort of open air. Okay, those worked on the Samsungs, but they always sounded better if you pushed them in and try to kind of like, you know, get a seal. But these new, I guess they're earbuds or something, AirPods, I don't know what the heck they call them. Anyway, the Apple ones, they supposedly have noise reduction, but I don't understand how you can noise reduce if you don't block the sound in the ear canal. I don't know. And I don't want to spend what I think is an outrageous amount of money just to find out. I can't go to the Apple store and try them. And the other ones, they got the big headphones. Well, I don't want those either, man. I just want a pair of earbuds I can stick in my ears. But the biggest problem I have is apparently the outside of my ear canals are apparently ginormous, and I have to have like the biggest earbud tips. And if I chew or I take a drink and swallow and I exercise the eustachian tubes in the muscular, you know, area of my mandibular joint, all of a sudden it pops out on the right side. When I was coming back to the States, you know, trying to use my noise reducing Xiaomi earbuds, you know, every 20 seconds are popping out. I push them in. I was like, what's going on? I wanted to take some super glue and glue them in, for crying out loud. But I've been investigating and researching that, and apparently there is such a thing as an XL style earbud tip, and apparently there are earbud tips. You know how the earbud tip will, you've got the outer section, but the inner section will grab onto the, I guess it's like a collet where the speaker is, in the earbud, right? And apparently they have some that have an extended section. So instead of having the earbud outer surface close to it, it's actually further away, which is what I need. Because when I use the Flare Audio prototype earbuds, these are the best earbuds I have ever heard in my entire life. And they have like a kind of a Z shape, okay? And it has to do with it's a waveguide and how it orients the audio into your ear and gets it closer to your earbud. But I can push those in further, and boy, they get a seal and a lock, and it's amazing. But they're wired, and so every little bump on the wire, I hear up my ear. Flare Audio does make a, take care, thanks Matthew. I appreciate it, I will. Flare Audio does make Bluetooth versions of them, but I don't know how far they stick into the ear canal. I may have to go for those, but they have a pretty interesting triangular cross section on the outside. I'm just gonna have to investigate them, but they're quite expensive. But if they work well and they do the job, then it's okay with me. All right, so I've been on, according to this, 41 minutes, 40 seconds. So I think I'm gonna call this a night. I appreciate it, everyone. Yeah, it's been fun. And, oh, wrong one. Yeah, this one. This is live stream failed. Come on, you gotta be kidding me. I can always end it up here, but you guys, I appreciate you joining so much. So let me go ahead and sign off, and I'll see you guys over the weekend. Not sure what I'm doing, but I'm gonna try to be back on Sunday, because I'm trying to make up for, abandoning all of you. So I appreciate you sticking with me. Fist bump. Gonna say it's Chen. Bye-bye. One on. Good night. Have a good evening, morning, afternoon, wherever you are in the world. We appreciate you joining so much. And I'm going to use the touch screen and exit live stream. So thank you so much. And it's going to ask me, exit live stream. Yes. So this live stream ends now. Thank you very much.